Fairly icy here. I don't think I'm going to go up that hill. Very strange happenings in good old Vancouver. Well, actually, good old Canada. It's not even local to Vancouver, although it is kind of happening everywhere. It's kind of remarkable that you can motivate people to drive across Canada and then camp out in Ottawa as a protest. I don't know if you've ever driven across Canada before, but I have. Once when I was a kid. We moved from Ontario to British Columbia, the west coast. My parents put my brother and I in the back seat, and we drove and drove and drove and drove. And it was the most boring friggin' trip I've ever taken. You know, I will never, I don't think I will ever go across Canada in a car ever again. It's a long way. It's a very, very big country. That's about the only thing I remember from that trip. So it's remarkable to me that you can motivate people and say to your buds, hey, you know what we're doing? We're going to drive across the country to Ottawa, and we're going to protest. And then what's more, you're going to do it in the middle of winter. You know, if driving across the country is crazy enough, but doing it in the middle of winter is just, that's totally nuts. So you got to imagine that these are pretty motivated people to do something like that. This is not something done on a whim, you know. A bunch of guys getting drunk one evening and saying, "Hey, let's go honk our horns in Ottawa." You know, this is these are people that are highly motivated, right? And now there's this other guy.
Hello everyone, my name is James Topp. I'm a warrant officer in the Canadian Armed Forces. I have served for over 25 years in that organization. I am presently in the Reserve Force. I am wearing this uniform without the authorization of my chain of command. I fully accept responsibility for my actions and the consequences that may arise. I am wearing the regimental affiliation of the Reg Force unit that I served with. I am proud of them. I honor them. This is not meant as a sign of disrespect. If you are outraged by this, I apologize. I have made many mistakes in my life, and I admit that. I am here to make a statement against government policy for federal government employees to have a vaccination as a term of employment. I do not agree with it. I do not believe that the state should have the power over my body and what goes into it. End of story. So in protest, I am marching on foot from Vancouver to Ottawa.
And so he did this video wearing his uniform, which is really a bad idea. Even though he said that he was acting on his own and not representing the military or his regiment. It's a big no-no in the military to make any sort of political statement. Since he's technically not out of the military, then I assume they can probably grab him and throw him in military prison, right? I mean, he can't. I mean, that's a real big no-no. At the very least, he's probably going to be chucked out of if he's not already. I mean, he's kind of like in limbo. But his career may be over. He may lose his pension. I don't know what's going to happen to him. But it's not going to be good. So that's, you know, this is like the guy's like a career. He's a warrant officer in the military. This is not like a you know, a private or a corporal or something. I mean, this guy is this guy is like a career military man, right? And the idea, you know, what would perturb someone to make that decision? You know, basically, I'm going to deep six my career, and then I'm going to walk across the country in the middle of the winter. It's just insane, right? Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's lost his mind. I don't know. That's one possible explanation. There seems to be a lot of that going around right now. I mean, yeah, maybe he's just insane, or there's something is very wrong, right? So, you know, something is very wrong that is motivating this guy to do this, right? I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know which it is. I mean, I obviously know what he's why he's doing it. He feels that the mandates are unconstitutional, which they very well may be, and feels he has to stand up for it, right, or stand against it, against these mandates. So that's remarkable, the level of motivation to get someone to do that. I mean, I'd love to know whether he changes his mind by the time he gets to Ottawa, or whether he thinks differently about the whole thing. I'm also interested to see whether he can maintain this level of motivation across this country, because it's a fucking huge country. This is not, you know, for those of you in Europe, this is not a small feat. It's going to take him like 3 or 4 months or something, right? We're walking at 40 kilometers a day. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a monumental task, really. It's almost a little Buddhist in a way, you know, like wasn't the Buddha his thing? He wanted to become enlightened, so he didn't know how to do it, but he knew that he could sit and he could wait and he could fast or something like that. Wait for enlightenment to come to him. It's almost like that kind of thing, you know, to walk 40 kilometers a day for the next 4 months. That's, I don't know, it's pretty remarkable. And there seem to be a lot of people that are losing their minds right now. Or seem to be. I'm not sure whether they are, or maybe they're laboring under misconceptions, or I watched in horror. I don't normally, you know, I don't think I've ever watched so many parliamentary debates and Senate debates in my entire life as I have watched in the last week. It was kind of horrifying to watch parliamentarians vote to basically abrogate the civil liberties of my fellow citizens unnecessarily, despite what they said. I disagree, to put it mildly. I disagree with their point of view. So I watched, there was one parliamentarian who said that the whole honk honk thing means Heil Hitler and some sort of crypto Nazi. It's like I don't know, there's apparently some sort of, you know, fifth column of secret Nazis somewhere around in Canada. apparently.
I, like many Canadians, were shocked to see Nazi flags, Confederate flags, dismayed and angry and hurt, horribly hurt. So how many Nazi flags does it take? How many donors from the Capitol riots, it's 1,100 and counting, who have donated to these illegal blockades? How many guns need to be seized? How much vitriol do we have to see of honk honk, which is an acronym for Hail Hitler, do we need to see by these protesters on social media?
This person's turning right from the left-hand turn lane. That should be interesting. I guess they're just waiting for a gap, or... And turn left there. Not really sure about how that whole left signal, right signal thing works. It's okay, stick with it, you'll get it sooner or later. Yeah, so, you know, where does that come from? You know, like, again, like, is she insane? That's one possibility. Is she is she just misinformed, or like she's just basically a conspiracy theorist, or like I don't know, like I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. Yeah, and there's other things too. I watched, you know, during the protest, I watched, there was a city, the police, I don't know, police oversight board or whatever, I don't know what the name of the board was, but some sort of city government board, oversight board for the police. They were just thrashing that guy slowly. They were doing it slowly, too slowly. This is before he got fired or whatever, because he wasn't delivering the goods. But you know, some of the people on there were like the Diane Deans or whatever. She was like, you know, the worst sort of person that you can imagine at like a strata council meeting.
Today, we are on day 8 of this occupation. Our city is under siege. This group is emboldened by the lack of enforcement by every level of government. They are terrorizing our residents, torturing them with incessant honking, threatening them and preventing them from leading their lives. People cannot go to work or open their businesses. They cannot sleep, walk, shop, go to medical appointments, or enjoy their neighborhood. This group is a threat to our democracy. What we're seeing is bigger than just a City of Ottawa problem. This is a nationwide insurrection. This is madness.
Anyway, so there's a lot of, and so all of these people, they must be operating on some sort of misinformation or something. I mean, they can't, I don't see how they can put these facts together and come up with, you know, add 2 + 2 and come up with 27. It seems very strange. I'm not going to make this, am I? I'll go to the next one. I'm not going to make that one either. I kind of try and time these left turns for a gap, but because I don't like waiting with people whipping by me. It's very unnerving as a motorcyclist. As a motorcyclist, you know, this sort of thing here. If we can take your elbow off with their mirror. Here comes a guy with a Canadian flag. He's one of those racist Nazis. Yeah. So, I don't know what's going on. I think that, you know, the misinformation goes on both sides too. There's the whole crazy UN thing. I don't know if you know about that, but it's almost worse though when you have Like, it's one thing for just your average citizen to be misinformed, but when your leaders are so misinformed, you wonder, where are they getting this from? And what are their sources of information? I mean, are these truckers some sort of... Are they all crypto Nazis? Are they all like, you know, like... if so, you know, why? It seems that they're not very concerned with promoting the cause of Nazism. Like, their demands have nothing to do with, like, how would ending vaccine mandates forward the cause of Nazism in Canada? It doesn't really make any sense to me. Anyway, none of this makes any sense to me. That dog was not very happy with me.